Are you tired? Tired of constantly trying to become someone else? Tired of chasing success? Tired of waking up each morning already feeling like you're not enough, not rich enough, not smart enough, not like them enough? But what if I told you the truth is you are already enough? Right now, right here, not in some distant future, not when everything's perfect. The problem isn't that you're lacking, but that you just haven't seen it yet. This isn't a simple affirmation. It's a profound shift in perspective. This video isn't here to make you feel better. It's here to help you see clearly, to look your life straight in the eye with a new perspective. Through Stoicism, a philosophy that has shaped unshakable minds for thousands of years, you'll learn to stop begging life for what you want and start acting like you already have it. Because the truth is, everything you need to move forward is already within you. The 15 lessons in this video aren't lofty theories. They are principles for living, a practical toolkit to shatter the mindset of lack and build true wealth from the inside out. No fluff, no sugarcoating, just the truth. And if you have the courage to face it until the very end, you'll never see the world the same way again. Number 1, wealth begins in your mind. Someone wakes up in a small apartment, eats a humble breakfast, and heads to an ordinary job, yet feels completely abundant. Meanwhile, someone else lives in a mansion, drives a luxury car, and has a fat bank account, yet still feels something is missing. So the question is, who's truly wealthy? Stoicism doesn't measure wealth by what you accumulate, but by how you perceive yourself. When your mind believes you are enough, the world begins to reflect that belief back at you. We don't live in reality, we live in the way we think about reality. A person who constantly says, "I'm not good enough," "I don't have time," or "I can't do it," is building a prison out of their own words and beliefs. But a Stoic understands the mind is the source of all abundance. It's not money that makes you rich, it's the freedom of not needing it to feel complete. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself in your way of thinking." Have you ever stopped to ask, if I already had everything I needed, how would I think differently? How would I carry myself? How would I look at failure? These kinds of thoughts begin to reprogram your body, your energy, and your choices. Don't wait for the outside world to change before you feel fulfilled. Reverse the flow, change your mind first, and reality will follow. Here's a simple practice. Every morning before you check your phone, ask yourself, if I needed nothing more to feel whole today, how would I act? Then move through your day from that place, not out of lack, but from a sense of enoughness. That tiny shift can redirect the entire course of your life. And if the mind is the seed, then your language is the water that nurtures it, giving it life or letting it wither. The way you speak about yourself, your future, and the world shapes the reality you live in. It's the very soil your thoughts grow in. This brings us to our next lesson. Number 2, words shape your reality. Have you ever wondered why two people in the same situation can feel completely different, with one feeling trapped and the other empowered? It's not because they live in different worlds. It's because they're telling themselves different stories about the same world. Language isn't just a tool to describe reality, it shapes it. Someone who keeps repeating, "I just need to survive," will carry the mindset of someone sinking. But the one who says, "I'm building something that lasts," is already standing on firmer ground, even if they have nothing in their hands yet. Words are seeds. If you plant scarcity every day, don't be surprised when your reality grows nothing but weeds. Start paying attention to yourself. What do you usually say when you talk about money, about your self-worth, about the future? Are you describing a helpless person or summoning a more powerful version of yourself? You don't need to become a great orator. Just stay conscious when someone asks, "How have you been?" Instead of saying, "Just hanging in there," try saying, "I'm moving in the right direction." When you're about to say, "I don't know anymore," try saying, "I'm searching for the answer." It's not about sugarcoating, it's about choosing to step into the version of you that holds power. Surprisingly, when you shift your language, your energy shifts with it. Your body hears you and responds. You move differently, make different decisions, and begin to act as if what you say is already real. That's the bridge that leads you to the next chapter. Not just speaking as if you have it, but living as if it's flowing through every gesture, action, and step you take. And it all begins with the first voice in your head. Who am I in the story I'm telling myself? Number 3, act like it's already true. A soldier doesn't wait until he's won the battle to put on his armor. He wears it to become someone ready to win. The same goes for you. Don't wait until success arrives to start acting like someone who's already there. You act like you've arrived because your body thinks so too. Modern science is only now catching up to what the Stoics knew centuries ago. The body is part of the mind. Every posture, gesture, and tone of voice is a message not just to others, but straight to your brain. When you walk with confidence, stand with purpose, and speak with conviction, your brain begins to believe it's true and starts reshaping who you are. Ever noticed how just shifting your posture at your desk can change your energy? How getting dressed properly in the morning can erase the grogginess of a sleepless night? Seneca once wrote, "A man is as wretched as he has convinced himself he is." But what people often miss is this: self-convincing doesn't happen through words alone. It occurs through behavior. That's why waiting to feel confident before taking action keeps you stuck. Instead, let action lead your emotions. Tomorrow, before you step out the door, pause for a few seconds. Who are you walking like? Someone waiting for permission, or someone who's chosen to live with intention? Asking yourself is a daily Stoic practice. No need for harshness, just integrity. There's no need to prove yourself. Just know who you are. Your body is a tool, not an ornament. If you know how to use it, it will pull your whole life forward. And if you want to keep building that inner strength, stick around. Because here we don't just talk about change, we become it. Number 4, live like you're already wealthy. You can be broke, but if you carry yourself like you're lacking, then you are truly poor. Prosperity isn't a number in your bank account. It's in the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you make choices. When no one's watching, someone who lives as if they're already abundant doesn't wait for someday. They set down a glass of water like it's fine wine. They pay on time without grumbling about prices. They don't apologize for having clear standards. Prosperity, when fully lived, is a way of being, not a reward. When Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Look well into thyself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if thou wilt always look." He wasn't talking about strength born of luck or wealth. He was pointing to the power that comes from becoming the person you want to be from the inside out. So if you truly believed you already had everything, would you behave differently? Would you walk away from a toxic relationship? Would you leave a negotiation where you were being undervalued? Would you hold your head high even when your outer world hadn't yet caught up? Practicing this doesn't cost a thing. Start with the small things. Dress well even if you're home alone. Write emails like a CEO. Choose quality over cheap. Every action is a message to your brain. I am already enough. I live this way because this is who I am. Don't wait for the world to validate you before you live fully. You must choose first. Otherwise, you'll keep trading self-respect for approval. And that's far too high a price. The question is, what are you waiting for to start living like someone who's already abundant? Who else could permit you if not you? Move like you're sending a signal to the universe. I'm ready. And the universe only echoes back the frequency you emit. When you live as though you already have it all, lack will feel too ashamed to stay. And then you'll see, when your sense of wholeness no longer depends on anything outside of you, a deep certainty begins to take root. Number 5, eliminate neediness. Have you ever noticed when someone enters a room with the energy of "I need to be noticed"? You can feel it immediately. But then there's the one who walks in with quiet confidence, someone who lacks nothing. They're not chasing, they're choosing. And that's exactly what makes them magnetic. There's nothing wrong with wanting something good. But when want turns into need, your mind slips into scarcity. And scarcity is a form of dependence. It stretches your spirit like a violin string, fragile, sensitive, and easy to snap. Seneca once wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." True wealth doesn't begin with a bank account. It begins with the ability to stand firm in the storm without clinging to anything. Try this. On an ordinary day, step outside without carrying a single expectation. Don't wait for a smile. Don't wait for a text. Don't wait for the world to be kind. Just be kind to yourself. That's the moment you stop being pulled and start leading. Here's a question for you. Are you doing this because you truly want to, or because you're hoping someone will notice? When you act as if you already have enough, you move through the world as a giver, not a seeker. And from that state, every step you take leaves a distinct imprint. Dependence puts your dreams on hold, waiting for someone else's green light. Certainty doesn't wait for signals. It flips the switch. And when living from a place of enough becomes your baseline, your decisions change. That's what opens the door to the next lesson. When the ego is no longer driven by lack, the choices you make carry a completely different kind of power. Number 6, decide from abundance. People often believe that only once they have achieved something, money, status, recognition, can they make the right decisions with confidence. But that's a trap. Decisions that come from a place of wholeness aren't the result of success. They're what created it in the first place. When you choose as if you already have everything, you don't act out of fear. You don't agree just to please others. You don't cling to things out of fear of losing them. You act with clarity, conviction, and inner alignment, like someone who knows their worth and doesn't need the world to validate it. Think about the people you admire. They're not always the richest or the most famous, but they have one thing in common. They don't seek permission to be themselves. They make choices as if they've always had the right to do so because they live from within, not dragged around by the noise outside. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. When Epictetus said this, he wasn't just talking about gratitude. He was pointing to a quiet kind of independence. When you believe you are already enough, you stop waiting for perfect circumstances to make bold choices. You make bold choices from that very belief. Want to practice this? Start with the everyday moments. When faced with a decision, do you say yes out of fear of being left behind, or no because you know what truly matters to you? When you catch yourself bargaining with your own readiness, pause. Readiness isn't something that shows up later. It's a decision. A person who leads from a place of inner fullness doesn't wait for life to hand them permission. They give it to themselves. And once you master this way of choosing, excuses begin to disappear. There's no need to justify, no need to over-explain. You act, and that's exactly where we're headed next. Number 7, remove excuses. Not everyone starts on equal footing. Some are born into comfort and privilege. Others begin with nothing but their bare hands. Yet both face the same pressing question. What now? The biggest trap isn't our circumstances. It's the quiet excuses we whisper to ourselves. I'm not ready. I need more time. I can't start until I have this or that. These aren't reasons, they're chains. We think we're waiting for the right moment, but really we're locking ourselves inside the prison of delay. Epictetus once said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. No one starts off great, but only those who dare to act will ever arrive at where they truly want to be. So ask yourself again, what do you really need to begin? Or do you just need to stop making excuses and take the first step? Imagine you already had all the confidence, discipline, and grit of someone successful. How would you act differently? Every step you take today is a declaration of who you're becoming. Don't wait to be fearless to move. Fear will always be there. It's action that leads the way. Don't wait for inspiration to write. Write to find your inspiration. Don't wait until you can afford a course. Start learning from what's already free. One phone call, one email, one nod. Sometimes the smallest actions are the spark behind a wildfire. Here's the twist. When you stop waiting for perfect conditions and start moving from exactly where you are, you don't just shorten the path to success, you become the path. And soon you'll see. The energy you lead with always arrives before the success you are chasing. Number 8, energy comes before results. People often think results come first and feelings follow. But the truth is the opposite. You walk into the room with your energy long before any outcome arrives. Like seeds sown in a field, the energy you carry each day is the climate of your future harvest, cold and foggy, or warm and sunlit. A salesperson who enters a call with doubt will always seem to hear rejection, while someone who shows up with certainty and goodwill somehow earns trust before even saying a word. Are you living as though you're lacking or as though you have something to give? Epictetus once said, "Seek not the good in external things, seek it in yourselves." It's not what we achieve that shapes who we are, but the vibration we radiate that shapes what's to come. A person who moves through the world in peace is like a fragrance, unseen, yet unmistakably felt. Have you ever met someone who made you feel at ease just by being there without even speaking? Want to change your results? Don't aim at the result. Go inward and tune your frequency each morning before checking messages or to-do lists. Rise as if today is a day you've been given to live, not to fix. Greet life as if you already have everything. Not to fake it, but to awaken the part of you that's always been whole, just forgotten. When you do, the world responds like you're a magnet for opportunity. You'll notice confidence shows up, words flow, and the right people appear once you're aligned. Ask yourself if today you stopped worrying about what's coming and simply lived in your highest state: trust, gratitude, joy. What could shift? You don't need to do more. Just be a version of you that vibrates higher. In time, people will feel it, even if you haven't said a word. And if you're still here, you're part of the rare few, patient and ready to change things from the inside out. Drop a comment. What will you shift in your energy starting today? I'd love to hear. And don't go just yet. The next part will show you why gratitude before receiving is the root of every miracle. Keep watching. Number 9, trust the journey. Have you ever cared for a plant? Day after day, you water it, clear the soil, check for pests. Yet no matter what you do, you can't force it to grow faster. It follows its own rhythm, quietly, slowly, but steadily. Life works the same way. Results, like the final fruit of the season, are never the most reliable part. The only thing you truly control is whether your hands show up to work today. Stoicism doesn't promise instant success. It asks you to live as if what you're doing today is already worthy of a lifetime of persistence. When you shape each action with integrity, each habit with consistency, and each thought with clarity, you are already the achievement, whether results come late or never come at all. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Be like the cliff against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it." The process is the wave. It will soak you, chill you, wear you down. But it's only when you don't run from it that you become the rock. Many live as if life is a scoreboard. How much money, how many titles, how many compliments. But not you. You don't need results to live like someone who's already succeeded. Act like a warrior. You don't need a prize to prove your courage or glory to begin the fight. And if you practice this long enough, you'll see some doors only open to those who wait patiently in front of them day after day. The issue isn't that you haven't been given a chance. It's that you haven't fully trusted your own hands. So maybe it's time to clear your life. Cut the noise, the clutter, the distractions to make space for what truly matters to come in. Number 10, make room to receive. You can't fill a cup that's already overflowing. Yet in our inner lives, how often do we pause to empty a little out? We pile on goals, expectations, fears, rarely stopping to ask, what am I still carrying that's already outlived its purpose? When the mind is crowded with worries, how can there be space for calm? When our calendars are jammed, how can wonder possibly slip through? Creating space to receive isn't a luxury. It's a wise way to live. Like clearing out an old room, it takes courage to throw away the habits that hold us back, the procrastination disguised as being busy, the relationships that exist out of routine, the beliefs like, I need X to be happy. The real question is, if you don't feel fulfilled, is it because you're clinging to too much that no longer fits? Marcus Aurelius wrote, receive without pride, let go without attachment, to receive without arrogance, to let go without regret. That's the inner rhythm of the wise. The Bible echoes this too. No one puts new wine into old wineskins. Otherwise, the wine will burst the skins, and both the wine and the skins are ruined. But new wine is for fresh wineskins, Unless you renew the vessel, the good things won't stay. Just like soil must be turned before the next season can be planted, your inner space must be cleared before deeper opportunities can take root. So how do you begin? Start small. Delete the apps that pull you into comparison. Walk away from conversations that are only cycles of complaint. Carve out 15 minutes a day without devices, just you and your real thoughts. You might be surprised by the clarity that starts to emerge. And if today you dare to let go, you might discover tomorrow what's truly valuable has been there all along. You just hadn't looked closely. That's the next step. Number 11, recognize what you already have. Have you ever noticed how the watch you once couldn't wait to buy has now become just a tool for telling time? The phone in your hand, the meal you're eating, the roof over your head, they were all once dreams you held dear. But strangely, the moment they become already ours, we stop cherishing them as if they were never important. That's the trap of familiarity. We forget the true value of what we already have and keep chasing what we don't. It's not that we lack anything, we just fail to notice. Fulfillment doesn't live in a luxury car or a six-figure bank account. It begins with your ability to see, to think, to act. So why do some people feel empty amid comfort, while others brim with inner strength despite having very little? Because one measures life by what's missing, while the other counts blessings. Remember that what you now have was once among the things you only hoped for. Marcus Aurelius said that not to console, but to awaken you. You are living in this very things you once dreamed of. The problem isn't that you don't have enough. The problem is that you haven't seen enough. And if you don't learn to recognize the value of what you already have, no amount of more will ever feel like enough. Imagine waking up one day and losing everything. Then slowly, one by one, things return. A glass of water, a loved one's voice, your legs carrying you. Wouldn't you see them differently? That's the perspective of someone who understands what it means to be truly full. And from that perspective, you rise to a higher level where you don't just notice what you have, but you begin planting seeds of gratitude before the harvest even arrives. Number 12, be grateful in advance. Some people pray to receive, but the Stoics pray to recognize what they already have. Gratitude isn't something that shows up after success. It's the fuel that makes success possible. Those who go on to achieve extraordinary things often begin with something incredibly quiet. They give thanks first. When you say thank you before anything has even happened, you're sending a powerful signal to your mind that you are already full, that you're not begging, you're preparing to receive. This single shift repositions your entire way of being from chasing to attracting. Socrates once said, contentment is natural wealth. Luxury is artificial poverty. Just look around you. Some people in rented apartments feel wealthy, while others in penthouses complain daily. So the real question is, through what lens are you seeing life? A truly grateful person isn't someone who says thank you only after receiving, but someone who deeply believes life is always quietly offering, and their job is simply not to miss it. One simple but powerful act. Every morning before you touch your phone, write down 3 things you're grateful for as if they already belong to you. They don't have to be grand: a deep breath, a restful sleep, a friend who's still here. This practice doesn't just shift your emotional frequency, it makes you magnetic to the very opportunities you once thought were out of reach. When you're grateful, you stop looking at others to see what you're missing. You begin to admire instead of envy, and that's when the next lesson unfolds. Let go of comparison and nurture admiration, a habit found only in those who are already full from within. Number 13, let go of comparison. A sharp knife never needs to compare itself to an axe. It simply does what it was made to do, cuts with precision. So why do we, each unique in our own value and circumstances, constantly measure ourselves by someone else's ruler? Every time you compare, you sever a part of your own essence. Comparison narrows your vision, pulls your focus outward, and ties up your energy in something you can't control, someone else's life. Admiration, on the other hand, is a quiet but enduring force. It doesn't weaken you, it opens a door. If they can do it, then it's possible. Admiration is like looking into a mirror, not to envy, but to recognize what's dormant within you. When you shift from comparison to admiration, You begin to dig your own well instead of dying of thirst in someone else's desert. This isn't empty inspiration. It's the beginning of action. Instead of saying, "I'll never be like them," try asking, "What can I start within myself today?" Maybe it's how you walk into a room with your back straight, how you pause for 5 seconds before reacting, how you offer a respectful gaze to someone more skilled than you. That's how people who feel whole begin to learn. And let's be honest, how many hours are you spending watching other people's lives while neglecting to build your own? Every time you do, you pay for it with your present. Make the shift. Don't shrink because of what others have. Open yourself to what they awaken in you, because a mind that feels whole isn't chasing victory. It's chasing a better version of itself. And here's the catch. Your environment is either feeding that state or starving it. In the next piece, we'll explore how to surround yourself with the kind of stimuli that nourish a sense of wholeness, because the space you choose to live in is quietly rewriting your mindset every single day. Number 14, surround yourself with abundance. A seed will never grow into a tree if it's buried in toxic soil. The human mind is no different. It absorbs, reacts to, and is shaped by its surroundings. What you watch, who you talk to, where you spend your time, all of it either nourishes a sense of wholeness or quietly poisons it with a feeling of lack. It's strange, isn't it? Spend just 10 minutes each morning reading about someone's success to learn, and you'll feel inspired. But spend that same 10 minutes scrolling through social media in a mindset of comparison, and you'll spiral into self-doubt. The same act taking things in, but one is intentional, the other passive. Are you paying attention to what you're feeding your mind each day? Choose an environment rich in calm, honesty, and uplifting conversations. This is how you paint your inner world with the colors of sufficiency. You don't need a penthouse to live like someone rich. You need a tidy desk, natural light, a good book, and a few people who don't spend the whole day talking about what they lack. Next time you open social media or a streaming app, pause and ask yourself, what is this planting in my mind? Clean up your feed. Unfollow channels that carry the energy of anxiety, envy, or resentment. Intentionally build a space of sufficiency through visuals, sound, and presence. Stop chasing motivation. Instead, create a space where motivation already lives. Start with the simplest thing. Place something that symbolizes sufficiency right in front of you. It could be a quote you believe in, a photo of your family, or an image that makes you feel at peace. Every time you see it, your brain learns to believe, I have enough. And if you keep surrounding yourself with those kinds of signals, one day you'll look around and realize your life has quietly grown into a reflection of abundance. That's the final lesson. Number 15, your life reflects abundance. You're not missing anything, you just haven't truly looked. Somehow we get swept up in the illusion of lack. Not enough money, not enough recognition, not as good as others. But life doesn't wait for you to feel ready before it begins. It already mirrors what you carry inside. A mind full of doubt will see obstacles everywhere, while a spirit rooted in wholeness will see every moment as a chance to grow. Have you ever asked yourself, if the outer world is a reflection of your inner one, what are you reflecting each day? The Stoics don't ask you to live in denial. They simply remind you that what you're searching for, strength, dignity, inner power, has never been out of reach. As Epictetus said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. The less you crave, the more you realize you already have. The more you feel complete, the richer you become. Strangely, it's when you stop chasing that you begin to attract everything. Want to live this out? Each morning ask yourself, if today were already a complete life, how would I act? Start small. Fold your blanket with care, say thank you, and walk with your back straight. Live as if you're embodying the qualities of someone who already has it all. Because in truth, you are. The world doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to who you are. So be the embodiment of sufficiency. No waiting, no delaying, no half effort. Live like you're already ready because you are. The final lesson marks the end of today's journey, a journey that doesn't take you anywhere new, but gently brings you back to yourself. Together, we've explored 15 principles of living, not to turn you into someone else, but to help you peel away the layers of judgment, the habits of doubting your worth, and to see clearly. You are already enough, already equipped, already ready. There's nothing more you need to begin living a meaningful life. All it takes is looking inward with the eyes of abundance. Stoicism doesn't teach you to be cold or indifferent. It teaches you to stay grounded even when everything around you is falling apart. It reminds you that true freedom isn't about having everything. It's about not being controlled by anything. And from that place, you begin to live free from fear, free from comparison, free from the feeling of not having enough. You live as if you already have it all, because in truth, you do. If this journey has touched you in any way, softly or powerfully, leave a like to let me know you're here listening. And if you're ready to go deeper, to understand yourself more fully through the lens of Stoic philosophy, hit subscribe. Not to follow a channel, but to walk alongside a way of life you truly deserve.